June 22nd, 2025 was quite the day for basketball fans. Not only did we have the Oklahoma City Thunder win the NBA Finals in a Game 7, but hours earlier, we saw an all-time great get traded. Kevin Durant will be dealt to the Houston Rockets in exchange for Jalen Green, Dillon Brooks, the 10th pick in this year's draft, and 5 second-round picks. While Durant's scoring is a big boost for the Rockets, I'm going to take a deeper dive into how his arrival will impact some of the players in the team's impressive young core. The Rockets this past regular season won 52 games in a tight Western Conference and finished the regular season as the second seed, though their need for a consistent big-time scorer was evident in the playoffs, and Durant certainly gives them that. However, with Green and Brooks being traded, that opens up around 65 minutes to be distributed. Durant will see at least half of those, but it will also open up more minutes for Houston's younger players. If I had to guess, Jabari Smith will enter the starting lineup after this deal, to go along with KD, Fred VanVleet, Thompson, and Alperen Sengun. Of the Rockets' four-man lineups that played at least 200 minutes in the regular season, this combo minus KD was second in net rating, outscoring opponents by nearly 15 points per 100 possessions. The Durant addition will also be a boost for Jabari's three-point shooting, which was projected to be a calling card of his entering the NBA. Smith has improved since a rough rookie season, though with the Rockets' spacing, he hasn't gotten a ton of clean looks when shooting off the catch. Per synergy, 65% of Jabari's three-point attempts off the catch were considered guarded this regular season, which ranked in the 94th percentile in terms of percentage of his possessions. He shot a serviceable 36% on those, but shot 39% on unguarded attempts, and ranked in the 4th percentile in percentage of his possessions in that regard. Needless to say, he should get more clean looks with Durant on the floor. With the departure of Brooks, this should also open up more minutes for Tari Eason. I discussed Tari's defense in a video during the season, but he's a game changer on that end, and the combination of him and Thompson is a lot for opposing offenses to handle. Offensively, Eason still has room to improve as a shooter, but can contribute scoring out in transition, can be a dangerous cutter, and makes an impact on the offensive glass. Pair that with his ability to defend multiple positions and create turnovers that lead to extra possessions, and he's going to be an essential part of this team and could very well end up being a starter. We have seen the very impressive flashes from Thompson on both ends of the floor, though with Jalen Green, who is utilized in pick and roll very frequently, being dealt. Could Amen be utilized more as a facilitator out of the action? The attention he commands with his drives could be valuable playing alongside Durant, who is incredibly dangerous playing off the ball. Amen here is in pick and roll guarded by Nickeil Alexander-Walker as Alperen Sengun comes over to set a screen. Thompson uses the screen and gets the switch as he's now defended by Naz Reid. Thompson's athleticism makes him incredibly dangerous for any big to defend one-on-one here. Amen gets into the paint, and while he didn't create separation from the defender, he created an advantage. All the Timberwolves defenders have their eyes on him, and 3 of them have a foot in the paint. So if Amen passes it to Jabari here, this could lead to either a clean look for him, or a good closeout could result in a quick pass and an open look for Jalen Green. In this case, Amen finds Jabari, who quickly gets into his shot and hits the 3. Dealing Green will also open up playing time for the 3rd pick in the 2024 draft, Reed Sheppard. As a rookie, Sheppard missed time with a broken thumb, and across 52 games played just over 12 minutes a night, though between this trade and Aaron Holiday having a team option for this next season, there's a path for a much larger role as a lead guard off the bench. One thing Reed can bring that the team would lose in Jalen Green is a threat to shoot threes off the dribble. However, Sheppard's also very dangerous shooting off movement. Reed gets the ball off the opening tip and is immediately hounded by a premier perimeter defender in Chris Dunn. Sheppard crosses half court, and Jock Landale comes over to set a screen that Reed uses before passing it to Tari Eason. Now after this pass, notice that Sheppard is hanging around the right slot, as Jalen Green now has the ball. Landale comes back over to set a screen on Dunn, and Sheppard works to get open on the flare screen. This is notable, as Reed on the second unit will likely be playing with Steven Adams, who is considered one of the best screeners in the league. Now that Sheppard has the ball, look at all the space here. Ivica Zubac stayed back waiting for Landale to roll, and Dunn had trouble getting through the screen, which leads to Reed being open, where he makes the defense pay by hitting the triple. This trade also figures to open up more playing time for Cam Whitmore. The soon-to-be 21-year-old has played 17 minutes a game through 2 NBA seasons, and in that time has shown some impressive scoring flashes. The one thing that can be said about Cam is that he's certainly not shy. On a per 36-minute basis, Whitmore attempted 17.5 shots a game this regular season. That was higher than the likes of Damian Lillard, Pascal Siakam, Jamal Murray, and James Harden, among others. Cam in a small sample has shown he can shoot off the dribble, but this past year also made just under 44% of his corner threes, which will be valuable as he could potentially provide instant offense off the bench. Durant has played with some of the most dynamic offensive players the league has ever seen, though there's one type of player he hasn't yet played with, a center who can be used as an offensive hub. That will change with Alperen Sengun. The young all-star can find teammates in a variety of ways and can rack up assists utilizing handoffs or finding cutters, two things that Durant's very efficient at scoring out of. This could also lead to some unique pick-and-roll pairings, as Sengun in a small sample this past season was very efficient creating for himself and others out of the action. Sengun brings the ball up here, and as he gets to the top of the key, you can see Jabari Smith is setting a screen on Cody Martin at the nail. Though as Sengun works inside the arc, Jabari pops out to the right slot. Now as Alperen backs into Mark Williams, notice that Martin is still in the paint to help on the ball. This would be a real bind with Durant on the floor, as you need to account for the all-time scorer, but Sengun's very capable of scoring in the post as well. Though in this instance, Martin reaches in for the ball, and Sengun quickly kicks it out to Jabari, which makes for a long closeout by Martin and 3 points for the Rockets. One area the 22-year-old will need to work on to succeed with KD in pick and roll is improving his short to mid-range shooting. For some reason, Sengun saw drastic declines on his shooting percentage on shots 3 to 10 feet and 10 to 16 feet from the basket compared to prior seasons. While the Rockets trading for an all-time great in Durant draws all the headlines, I think the benefit this could have for their young core is going under the radar. Durant not only fits what the Rockets need offensively, but this trade can open up minutes, spacing, and opportunities for many of the franchise's younger talent. Coach Ime Udoka has built a strong defensive culture in Houston, and the pieces are in place to continue building off that. Now the offense could potentially take a leap, and it will be interesting to see what the Rockets do this offseason as they look to establish themselves as a serious contender in the Western Conference. If you made it this far, thank you, and if you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe to stay up to date with my latest in-depth NBA analysis.